Hello everyone. Happy Memorial Day weekend. It is May. I'm trying to think what day it is. I know it's Memorial Day's tomorrow. I think today's the 25th, 26th. Anyway. But I'm sure you probably wonder where I've been. Really just painting. I've been doing actually a lot of acrylic painting. Let me share one with you. I just did. I've been taking some classes from a friend of mine. So we just did this one together. So we did that one, and I did this one. At first I hated it, but it looked good in the frames. But she's teaching us acrylic painting, or abstract painting, I guess. Isn't that pretty though? She's a really good painter. Maureen Bourne. Born Creations. You should check her out. She's got a website and she does fabulous work. But anyway, so we've been playing around with acrylics and watercolors too. But yeah, I haven't been doing as much pottery at home because if you've been following me, you know my hand's been bothering me, and but I had the tests done and they said they weren't bad enough for surgery, so just keep moving forward, right? Anyway, before I keep yapping on too long, where I was just gonna paint some plates. So I'm starting to make these little plates, and they're just nice. It'd be easy to put on my Etsy shop and easy to ship, and you can use them for a little salad dish. Now, these you can see. These were made with the GR pottery forms, and you know they make great stuff. But and of course you can stack two together to make them deeper. But I'm gonna do a video. I think I like them a little bit larger than this, a little bit deeper. You know, because when they shrink, when they're fired and they shrink, you end up with not much of a lip and not a lot of room to put stuff in. So, but these were made by, if you don't know what GR pottery forms are, they are a wooden, they're a wooden piece that's carved out to make oval shaped bowls and platters and dishes, and you know, square, rectangular, you name it, they have it. They have some really nice stuff. But, and then what I do is I just turn the GR pottery form over to the larger side, cut it out, a slab out, and then I lay it on a cushion, and then I just press the GR pottery form down into the cushion. It just folds up the sides and makes a simple piece. So anyway, but what I was getting at is I've found I cut out a larger template now, and I actually use the bottom of a plastic jug. I don't have one here. And just press that down. So my plates have now a deeper side, and they're a little bit larger. So I kind of like them better. But I'll show them to you later. This was the first batch. And whenever you're making something new, you know, the first batch is never going to be exactly how you want it to be. So don't, you know, shoot yourself over it. Anyway, let me lower you down. I think I'll just paint some roses and leaves on this one, and I think I'm going to paint some sunflowers on the other ones. And I am using, let me lower you down a little bit and show you what I'm using. Oh, there's my kitty cat. That's Molly. And there is Millie. They're sleeping in their boxes. They love those boxes. It's so funny. I guess cats, you know, I know cats love boxes, but you know, they're in those boxes all the time. Anyway, so this is B-Mix 5 with grog, and this is bisque fired, and the glazes that I'm using are Amaco Velvets. They are the Amaco Velvet Underglazes. Some of them are lugs. I don't know if you're familiar with those. Let me see here if I've got, if I have any. I don't know if I, oh, here's one. So, if you go by Amaco Velvet Underglazes, you'll notice that this one is called a lug, L-U-G. So the lugs are just a little more opaque. So the regular ones are a little bit more translucent. So there's really no, other than that, I don't believe there's any real difference in them. And I think the lugs are really nice because I don't think you have to put as many coats on. So they're really nice. I feel like I'm sitting here in a sewer treatment facility because if you use underglazes, you know how bad they smell. And as soon as I open these, I can tell my nose is stuffing up because I'm allergic to mold. And the yellow especially grows mold. My last yellow, I think the bottom was black. And this one was kind of black too. And I put just a little bit of bleach in there, and that helps. So you can do that. I don't like to alter them too much though, because I worry about it affecting the quality after a while. But anyway, so for those who don't follow me a lot, these are my underglazes. I put them in a palette like this. All you have to do is go onto Amazon and Google or do a search for a bead box with a bead box with attached grids. I think that's what it's called. Or non-removable grids. I think either way you'll find it. Most of the time, for some reason, you have to buy two of them. So that's kind of a bummer. But so I put them in here. I let them dry out a little bit so they are more concentrated. You don't have to put as many coats on. You don't have to worry about them burning out as much. So, but you can use underglazes just like they were acrylics or watercolor, which you cannot do with regular glazes. Regular glazes, when you mix a blue and a yellow, you may not necessarily get green because it's minerals, whereas this is just pigment. It's stains, mason stains and clay. So they're really easy to use. But if you are gonna eat off of them, I would suggest putting a clear coat over them. Okay, let's see here. Let's do. So when I just actually filled this up. I know a lot of people ask me, what colors I use. So this is intense yellow. This is avocado green, but I did add a little bit of black to it to darken it. This is chartreuse and turquoise. Now, I didn't have any pale yellow, so I just filled this halfway with intense yellow, added a little bit of white, and just a touch of brown to soften it up for my sunflower petals. And then this is amethyst back here. And this is a deep purple. I did not have a deep purple, so let me show you better. So this is how you can make your own colors. So this color and this color were the same color, but I wanted a deep purple. So I just put some of the amethyst in this container and just put, I just kept adding black until I got this dark enough. Let's see, this is medium blue. This is bright orange. This is radiant red. And this one I made too. This one is just medium blue with white. So, and the brown is, I had to make my own brown. I ran out of brown. So the brown is just green, purple, and red. And that makes brown. This was a mixture of colors I let it dry up, and I didn't like it. I'm just gonna get rid of it. I just wait till it dries up and just pull it out of there. So anyway, so those are my underglaze colors. And here is just a lid to mix things up a little bit. I'm going to get some of this red. I hope everyone's doing well. Ooh, these smell so bad. I can't even tell you how bad these smell. Ooh wee. When I first opened this container, even my cats were looking at me like, what the heck are you doing? Alrighty. So I got a little bit of red in there. I'm going to get a little bit of this white. White's getting kind of chunky here. Get some of that out of there. Hope you can hear me okay. Do a lot of you also play with acrylics and watercolors too? Or do you just do pottery? I have loved to paint since I was young. My mother was a painter, but she didn't paint much, and then she got married young and had 5 of us kids, and of course she never had time to paint after that. But I actually have her wooden oil painting box here with me that I keep. Let's see here. So let's add, I've got some white that I've added to this radiant red because I want to make these a little bit pink. So I think what I'm going to do is add a little bit of the red first. Let's see, you're not, let me see if I can't get you in the picture a little better. There we go. There we go. I'm going to add a little bit of the red first. Let's see. It's probably best to you know, add 3 coats if you really want to be sure that nothing's going to burn out. But I don't really worry about that because since I'm mixing the glazes, like I will put 3 layers on, but I don't worry about each individual color having 3 layers. Some may burn out a little bit. That's kind of sometimes that looks great and sometimes it's kind of a bummer. I prefer painting on bisqueware because if I need to wash it off, I can just wash it off. I don't have to worry about taking away some of the clay. Also, I think you can tell your colors better when you're painting on a white bisque rather than a gray, moist clay. I think they come out the same. Some people say that, you know, they come out more intense when you paint on greenware. That's possible, you know, because it's just one more firing where it's going to shrink down and become more concentrated, but not a lot. I haven't seen much of a difference. So I would just do what you prefer to do. I wouldn't worry about the outcome because I think the outcome is this almost identical to painting on bisqueware. Now, see, I kind of did 4 here, which I don't really like. They always say you should paint in odd numbers, so I'm gonna have to add another one in here, which I think I'll add I'm not really liking where I placed these, but I think I'm going to get a smaller brush. And these brushes, I just get them from Hobby Lobby. They're just, this one I actually spray painted green, the handle, because I did a class with the Girl Scouts. So I had to take them someplace. And I didn't want to lose all my brushes, so I painted mine so I could tell the difference. Well, my head is really stuffing up, smelling the mold in here. I feel like every time I do a video with these underglazes, my head gets all stuffed up. Should probably wear a mask. I'm trying to add some different colors in here. I added a dark red. I added a pink. Now I'm trying to add a little bit of white so I can give it depth and interest, and I don't want, you know, all the colors to look the same. There you go. It's been so rainy here in Cincinnati, Ohio. We've got so much tree mold. The tree mold is really high, and I'm sure probably is in all the other areas of the country where it's been raining so much too. That stuff never used to bother me, but okay, so I think that's okay. Now I'm going to add some leaves. Well, I think first I'm going to add some color to the centers of these. I think I'm just going to do yellow. I think I'm going to pick some intense yellow. I don't know if these are really peonies. Some people think they're roses. Now my peonies, they're still blooming a little bit, and they have some yellow inside, but they have fluffy white centers. They're pink on the outside with fluffy white centers, but that's hard to portray with underglazes. You know, when you start layering colors like this, like I said, if you don't have a lot of layers of the same color, you know, when you're really trying to shade like you would with acrylics or watercolor, you're going to have a lot of stuff, you know, burning out. Because if you've only got one layer of color, it, you know, unless it's an intense red or an intense color, they usually end up burning out. And that is because I fired a comb 5. So if you were firing a low fire, you wouldn't have that problem. But the higher you fire, the more chances you have of some of the colors burning out. So I'm going to take some avocado green here. Try to get some, I got all my acrylic paint brushes over here. I got to make sure I don't really mix them up too much. I don't know what, probably explode in the kiln if I got chunks of acrylic in here. There we go. Let's see. Did we wake you up, Molly? Oh, no. No, she says, nope, I'm going back to sleep. All right, and I think I'm going to add a little bit of chartreuse to this. Just like I said, just to give it a little bit of different colors to it. All right, let's see here. So let's stir this a little bit. I don't want to mix them too much because I want you to be able to see hopefully see the streaks in there. And the streaks aren't showing up real well, so I'm going to just dip my brush in there and add a few. Okay, let's see. You can tell the glazes, the underglazes that aren't lugs, they're more translucent. So you definitely are going to have to put on more than one coat. That's why, like this avocado, I don't know if they're adding more water to them lately. I hope not. But when you brush on, see how when you brush on up here in the top, it like where the brush is stiffer, it just goes right down to the clay. It doesn't leave any pigment behind. So I don't remember them used to doing that. Some people say they water down their underglazes, but I don't really know how they do that because they seem like they're watered down enough. But like I said, if you're low firing, that's a huge difference. High firing, actually, cone 5, 6 is mid-range, but it's still hot enough that you'll get some burnout. But yeah, they seem like they you need 4 layers of that avocado. Has anyone else had hand problems and gone to have an EMG? I tell you, I went and I thought it was going to be no big deal. I thought, oh, they're just going to hook some little electrodes up to you and, you'll be fine. But I'll tell you, it was a little, you felt kind of like you'd been electrocuted. It was a little more intense than what I thought it would be. He said I did really good. Apparently who was ever in there before me was not too happy. Like, well, I think the more you've been through, the less those things bother you. You just do what you got to do. Okay, so I think I'm going to put another one right here just because I'm feeling there's too many. There's a couple green leaves over here and there's really none over here, so I hate how this green is so watery, but I'll just keep, I think I'm going to add a touch of blue to it. Blue will bring out more of the green. If you add black or brown to the green to make it a little bit darker, it does intensify the color, but it doesn't really make it more green. It seems to, when it burns out in the kiln a little bit, it tends to go brown. So touch of white, a little bit of white to it. Just to put a few, I'm going to wait till I get my second coat on here. Has everyone else had the sticker shock when you go to buy underglazes? I went to our local clay supplier. Gosh, it's been probably a month ago at least now. I think I may have even told you about this, but I was shocked at the cost of the underglazes. That yellow was $62 for a pint, and the red is around 50 something, and the orange, the red, the orange, and the yellow are the three most expensive colors because of the ingredients that go in them. I really don't know what those ingredients are. I just know they're expensive. Okay, so I think I've got 3 coats of this green on here. I'm gonna whoops, add a little bit of yellow. No, that's too much. No, that's too much, Lisa. So I'm going to go back over it with green again. I'm going to add this white into the green just right here at the edge. If you can see that. Just to lighten it up so that my leaves are kind of streaky, I guess, in a way. I mean, with different colors. I just don't want them to be a flat color, that's all. And I don't want them to be too dark so that they turn brown in the glaze firing. All right, so what do you think? So these will still get some black underliner around them. I think they'll look cute, hopefully. I'll set that aside. Let's do another one real quick. I'll wash my brush out here. Oh, I also wanted to share, so I've had problems with my brushes not being able to get them real clean, especially the acrylic brushes. Those are the hardest. So I found this product called Scrubby, and you can buy it off of Amazon. But this is worked out so nice. This is a natural soap infused scrubber. So it's basically a scrubby in here with the soap. How can I say that? With the soap inside. So it's basically a scrubby filled with soap. But it easily removes paint, oil, dirt, grease, and more. It's really nice, and it smells like orange. So I'm going to open up the top for you. If you can see, I've been using it. That's my blue paint in there. But see how this scrubby goes all the way down here. And then this is like an orange citrus soap that's infused into the scrubby. It's made in the USA. And the website is scrubbysoap.com. But it says, this ultimate hand and multi-surface cleaner was inspired by the strength and freshness of Florida oranges. So it's a glycerin soap with natural citrus and aloe. But it really, it's so good for your brushes. Cleans them really well. makes them soft, brings them back to life if they've gotten kind of hard. So I just wanted to share that with you. Because brushes are expensive. I try to buy mine, a lot of mine, when they have it good, when they discontinue them, like a discount sale or something. I have certain brushes that are just for acrylics, certain brushes that are just for watercolor, then I have certain brushes that are just for underglazes. I don't mix my brushes. I'll do some sunflowers too. I'll do a couple of these, and like I said, these are kind of sample plates. I'll do a couple of these roses or peonies, like I said, and then I'll do some sunflowers, and then when they fire in the kiln, I'll see how they fire and see if I really like them. I think Molly's wondering who I'm talking to. She's probably thinking, my cat mama has lost her mind. She's talking to herself now. Oh, it's all right, Molly. Huh, baby girl? We love these cats. Oh my gosh, they have captured our hearts. I'm making sure that these have black coats on them. Sometimes when I fire these, the red gets really dark, and I don't like the darkness of the red. I want these to be more pinkish and have a softer color. So I used to add purple to them, but I didn't really like how the purple fired with the pink and the red. It looks good sometimes, but like I said, it is kind of a crapshoot, you know, when you're doing pottery. I always kind of feel bad because I get new students in my class, and you know, we always tell them, now don't fall in love with your pottery piece until it comes out of the kiln. And I hate, you know, I don't know. I that's being negative, and I shouldn't be negative. I don't want to be negative. I want pottery to be a happy place when people come to my class. I teach at the Dunham Recreation Center here in Cincinnati, and we have such a great time. We really do. But yeah, so we get new people. But you know, on one hand, I want to forewarn them because you know, when you're a new potter, you know, things can go bad in the kiln, and you just want them to kind of have a heads up, you know. But yet on the other hand, I don't want to seem negative either. But and then I have to tell them about the silicosis. I have to tell them, you know, don't breathe in the dry glaze. Don't breathe in the dry clay. It's got, you know, this clay and these glazes, they all have shards of glass in them. So you should never ever sand dry clay without a mask on. You should never breathe in dry clay dust without a mask on. You know, that's why I don't have, like, you can see a canvas top here, but I don't do pottery on here. I have a birch piece of wood. You should not have canvas on your work table where you're wedging clay or working with clay, because the clay gets in the canvas, and I don't care how much you scrub that, you are not getting all that clay dust out. And then when you come back to the table and you start working on it, that clay dust is going to come up right in your face, and you're going to be breathing that in. And, you know, once those glass shards gets in your lungs, it never comes out. So you do need to be really careful. You know, if you're only doing pottery a couple of days a week, it's probably never going to affect you. But it's, you know, I just feel like it's good to know, because when I first learned pottery, no one ever told me that. And where I used to take pottery, they had canvas on the tables, they had rug on the floor, and oh my gosh, I can't even imagine the amount of clay particles and glaze particles that we were breathing in back then. So just, you know, so now I always feel like I should tell people, just, you know, just be cautious, you know, be smart. I'm going to add a little bit of white to this, green. And sometimes when you add white to a glaze color, to an underglaze color, it makes it more opaque, which is really nice because you don't have to add as much color to it. Oh, I got something in my... I got a bug in my eye. Maybe he's trying to get away from the clay dust. No, there shouldn't be too much clay dust here. But I had this canvas on here to do pottery on until I learned about silicosis, and then I went out and I bought pieces of birch wood from Home Depot. They were pre-cut pieces. It was perfect. And I put some tung oil on them, and that's what all my students do their pottery on now. And they wipe clean, and you don't have to worry about all the clay dust. I think I just wiped underglaze on my face. No, I don't know if I got any in my nose or not. Okay. Yeah, so anyway. Okay, well, I kind of like that. What do you think? Let me add the yellow dots. And then I will set these aside. I can't decide if I should add more to the outside, to the edges, but you know, sometimes less is better. Sometimes it's, you know, easy to just add too much and they get too busy. And I will take an underglaze pen at the end and outline these. So there you go. Hope you can see some of the layers I got. So I will show you how these fire after I fire them. I'll see if I can add. What I'll do is I'll fire them and then I'll add a picture on the video. Okay, so I'm going to switch over to, let's see, no, let's do some sunflowers. I think I'm gonna, let me get a paper towel. I'm gonna wipe that red out of there. go. Normally I save that, but I'm not going to be doing much, I don't think, with that color. I used to have a real big one, and it's around here somewhere. Anyway, okay. Let's see here. So I'm going to add some of the soft yellow. Well, let's see. I need some brown, so I'm going to add some brown over here. There we go. Add some brown. I got some yellow, some soft yellow. So let's do the center first. So I'm going to start off with some soft brown little circles here in the center. And these are just easy designs that anybody can paint. Just like that. And some little bit smaller dots. Pretty simple, huh? So I'm going to do 2 of these. So I'm going to go ahead and, this is the way I should have done the first one. That way, they'll be dry when I move on to the second stage. When I move on to the petals, you know. And I move on to the petals. There we go. Can't believe it's already the end of May. I always try to get summer to slow down because summer's my favorite. I think spring, summer is my favorite time of year. I love to garden. I love to go out in my flower garden and weed and get flowers, but I've had a lot of problems with my flowers dying because the moles get in there and eat their roots. And then I had all these echinaceas, all these different color flowers, and unfortunately there's not a whole lot left. I keep buying more. Now I'm just kind of trying to smush this brown around a little because I don't really want that white. I don't want that white in there. So you can kind of see my dots. I add a little more straight brown. So I keep buying flowers, and then I've got some tomato plants out there. I love fresh tomatoes. I wish I had room to grow corn and all that stuff, but the deer would probably eat the corn. They eat everything else, but we really don't have as many as we used to have. Okay, so let's put the petals on. So with the sunflowers, you want a big center and then short leaves. So it's a little trickier putting these on here with the edge of the plate, with the crease of the plate. So it's kind of weird. So I'm probably going to be trying to put more stuff in my Etsy shop because I'm not doing many shows this year. I just, I don't know, it's kind of taking a toll on me. Sitting there all day and the heavy lifting of all the heavy pottery and all that. And I need someone to, you know, really go with me. And my son used to go with me, and he still does, but he doesn't like it. And, you know, the heavy lifting of the boxes and things are, it's just hard on my back. And so anyway, so I may start making some smaller things like this and put it on my Etsy shop. And, you know, others, you know, the rest of you guys, if you aren't doing a lot of shows, then it's probably a good idea too. I'm adding a little intense yellow to this, okay, just to brighten up this color for the second layer. For anyone else who doesn't like to do art shows, you know, yeah, you know, if you're selling it on Etsy, it's a lot easier to sell smaller things that won't break as easy, that don't weigh as much, because, you know, pottery's heavy and it's expensive to ship, and a lot of people don't like paying for that. I mean, let's face it, we're all used to Amazon with free shipping. But you know, I don't know if you guys have checked Amazon's pricing, but I think their prices have gone up a little bit to accommodate for the free shipping. I don't think it's really free shipping anymore. I think they're so big now that, you know, you're paying for that convenience of having someone deliver to your door, which is nice. I'm not gonna lie about that. I ordered something one day, and it wasn't like 4 hours, and it was on my door. Oh my God, I couldn't believe it. I said, boy, we are so spoiled. So I'm just trying to even out these flowers where the creases are, so that because I don't want the creases of the dish to affect the petals really. Hopefully this won't be too difficult to add the black liner to. So I've got a little bit of intense yellow, a little bit of soft yellow, and there's a little bit of brown creeping in there. Today is Saturday, so I'm painting pottery on a Saturday night. I'm not much for going out anymore. I don't know. I know I'm terrible. I talk like I'm, you know, a 100-year-old person, but I'm not really that old. I'm 62, but I'm such a homebody. Oh, it's terrible. I hate, you know, I just hate the traffic anymore. And oh, so okay, so I'm going to add a little touch of brown to these leaves, these petals. I mean, I'm sorry, to the petals, just to give them some dimension from the center out. See that? I'll show you. I'll hold it up in just a second. One thing that Maureen Bourne, our teacher for acrylics and watercolor, always tells us is to have dark colors and light colors. The dark colors intensify the overall picture. And boy, I tell you, sometimes she'll come over and add dark colors, and it just makes a huge difference, you know. So let's see. So now I'm going to also dip back into the brown. I'm just going to go around this edge with little brown dots. Because once I've added the petals, I don't want quite as much white to show. Okay, so, okay, I'm going to show you that. And unfortunately, with these lights on, the camera will bleach out these colors, which, there you go. I think that's a little, you can kind of see the intenseness of the colors. So I'm going to add some leaves on here. And notice on the petals of the flower, see how I'm draping them over the edge where they need to be? So I'm not stopping right at the top. This avocado green, this used to be one of my favorite colors, but it bugs me that it goes on so translucent. Wish they made this in a lug. But I'm going to add a touch of blue to it again. And I'm going to wait for that to dry, I think. And then I'm going to add one. I hate to add them all right in the corner, but I'm not one of those painters who is very good about drawing it all out first. I mean, that's the way to go. But I've just never done it that way. Each one is a little different, a little unique. That's kind of just the way I like it. I could never be a production potter. I give those people credit to you know, just make the same thing over and over and over. Hundreds of mugs, hundreds of plates, hundreds of bowls. Oh my gosh, that would, I mean, that's a real job. And that would take the fun out of it for me. And that's why it's so hard to put your stuff on Etsy when you make everything that's different. So I'm going to take this leaf and hang it over the edge here. I do have some of my stained glass on my Etsy page. I think if you go and just search Wild Acorn Studio or Wild Acorns Art Studio, I think it's Wild Acorns Art Studio or Wild Acorns Pottery, you'll see my shop. But you have to, it's weird, you have to put the words all together. I don't understand Etsy. I'm working on a new website with Wix, W-I-X, and eventually I'll get away from Etsy. Okay. So I've got the first, actually I put it on thick enough with the leaves. That's really almost probably 2 coats. So, but when I add the black outline, you'll see how intense these colors, it just makes the colors pop. It just, so now I'm going to add my final coat. My final coat of the leaves. Going to these edges like this is hard when you're doing the black liner. Here we go. And so, here we go. One of those is done. Let's do another one. Now these, oh no, this clay, I had problems with it cracking. I don't know what it had a problem with, but If it gets too dry before you push it down, that's what it does. So be careful you don't let your clay slabs get too dry before you punch them down into the sponge. Okay, let's get some more yellow out here. And let's see here. Let's draw some more petals. And a little touch of the intense yellow. So sunflower petals are short and fat. They're not real long like the echinacea, the daisies, and some of those that I paint. The next show I'm in isn't until October. The Weber's Family Farm Pumpkin Festival. That's down on Kilby Road. And that is usually the third weekend of October, I believe. That's a really huge festival. I mean, I think they have over 400 vendors. It's crazy big. But it's so nice because, Millie's giving Molly a bath. That's a good girl, Millie, because Molly's not good at cleaning herself very well. Molly's the one with the long fur, and she doesn't always clean her fur very well. So I guess her sister Millie helps her out. What are sisters for, right? I always wish I had a sister. I had 5 brothers. One passed away very young, though, so I was only raised with 4 brothers. Let's see here. You know, when my family gets together, we joke about growing up with 4 brothers. I always say, I can't believe, it's a miracle I survived. It's a miracle. Of course, none of my baby dolls ever survived. I do have one left that's missing an arm. I think my mom sewed it back on. But they were, oh gosh, I used to take my baby buggy and with my baby doll in it and send it down the hill and just laugh. They thought that was hysterical. When we grew up, there weren't any cell phones, or we weren't allowed to sit in the house and watch TV or play games. As soon as we got home, my mom threw us outside. Well, after we did our homework. Had to do our homework first. And she threw us outside. And when we heard she had a bell on the front porch. We heard the bell. We knew it was time to get home for dinner. But yeah, we had a good time growing up. I think it was so much simpler back then. I think life was a lot simpler. You weren't forced to play, not forced, but practice sports every single day. And these kids today, I think we throw too much on them. I think we expect too much out of them. They're just kids. Okay, and then I get a little bit more intense yellow just to That's, if you hear the dog hacking up a bone over there, he's not really hacking up a bone, but that's our dog Archie. He'll be 15 in July, and I'm not sure he'll make it to July. He's not doing too well. We lost our other two dogs. So if you watch any of my earlier videos, wait a minute, get the paint off of here. I was going to say, if you watch any of our earlier videos with Sophie and Ernie, yeah, they are no longer around. So I'm just adding a little brown here. We love our doggies. Oh. I get choked up just talking about them. Oh. It's terrible. But our dogs, you know, our animals are part of our family. All right, so let's get some leaves on here. I think that's, let's see here. Well, yeah, I'm adding just a touch more brown to the petals is what I'm doing. Just to add a little dimension there. Oh, let's add a little bit more. I don't like that much white showing. Let's add a little bit of that. Okay. Let's put some leaves on here. Put so much green on here. I hate to waste it. I gotta make sure I use up some of that green. I don't like to put it back into the compartment there if I've added a bunch of colors to it. With underglazes, nice too, because they pretty much turn out the color that you see. They will get shinier and they'll get darker, and when this is dry, I'll probably wait till tomorrow, but I'll add a clear coat to them. Oh, poor thing. He has cancer. That's why he's not doing so well, but Archibald, he's yeah, he's 15 years old now. Oh, he'll be 15 in July. Let's see. Let's add we got some yellow here. So let's just add a little bit of yellow to these leaves. And then I want to add a green over the top because I don't want the yellow to be quite that intense. I think I'm going to take just a little bit of this white and mix it with this green again, just to add some more colors and some interest to the leaves. It's so nice outside now. It's been so hot, but we had a storm come through earlier today, and it really cooled things off a lot, which is nice because we turned our air conditioning on. I can't take the humidity. And you know, I was painting and nothing would dry because the humidity was so bad. It's kind of odd for us to have this kind of humidity so early in the year. But like I said, we've had so much rain. So I'm adding a little bit of white into these leaves. Okay, so I'm going to look at the edge here. I went over the edge a little bit, but not a whole lot. Okay, so there's this one. Hopefully you can see that okay. So I'm going to set these aside. I'm going to go back to, let's set this aside here. And I have a Xiem XIEM applicator bottle. They have a red one and a blue one. This obviously is the blue one. And I have jet black underglaze in here from Amaco Velvet Underglazes. And I add just a touch of water so that it flows freely through this tip where I have a pin in here. If it clogs up a lot, you might want to run it through a strainer to get any chunks out, because you don't know what was in the bottle. Sometimes oolites can form. Oolites are, I just got one out of here. I should have showed you. Oolites are the little round balls that form in some glazes, and you do not want those to stay on your pottery. I was trying to look at that oolite. They will not dissolve in the kiln. It's like a calcium buildup or something, and I might be saying that wrong. But anyway, one glaze, westerns, a lot of Western glazes, doe skin. I don't know if you use Western doe skin, but that's got a lot of oolites in it. But a lot of glazes do form those oolites, and they're just little perfectly round bowls the size of, they're like the size of this pinhead here. So every once in a while you need a sieve. You might have to sieve your glazes. But when I put this in here, if I take this lid off, this pin, oh, there's the oolite right there. And you turn it upside down. If it drips out, you've added too much water. So here is an oolite. I just got out of this glaze. Now you'll probably never be able to see this. Can you see that? That's an oolite. O-O-L-I-T-E. So I just got it out of the avocado. I'll probably just throw it in the garbage because I don't want it to get back in my glazes. Okay, so I just kind of test this out. Let me see here. I'm going to move this out of the way a little bit. Let me, there we go. You can see a little better. Always test this out on paper first. Okay. So you can see I'm squeezing it out here because it will clog up every once in a while. So I'm just going to gently squeeze the ball. And you always want to pull towards you. If you push this that way, you're just gonna fill up your tip with glaze. And then it'll get clogged. And then you might say a bad word. And the faster you move with this, the thinner the line. The slower you go, the more glaze you have coming out, and the thicker the line will be. And so when you put overglaze on here, which is, I'm going to use clear, a zinc-free clear, probably Amaco or Mako. You want a zinc-free clear, and I just use 2 coats. Now the circles are tricky because you cannot go around like that or your tip will fill up with glaze. And like I said, you might say those bad words. Okay, now I'm going to go around these little yellow ones. sure I'm in the picture. Hopefully my head wasn't in the way. There you go. Let's see. Yeah, that's okay. They're okay. And then let's put that aside. Let's do another one of those. I guess I'd have to go over the edge here with some of them. I made a bunch of flat red birds for my last show and sold a lot of red birds. Red birds seem to be, they seem to always be a very good seller. If you're looking for something, you know, that's a pretty much guaranteed seller. Anything with a red bird on it seems to be very popular. If you missed my last video, it was of me in my tent with the pouring down rain. Oh my gosh, it rained so hard that day. Oh, I was prepared though. I had the sides to my tent, and so it wasn't too bad. Now all the stuff I had sitting outside in the front of the tent filled up with water. And then all the price tags fell off. It's a shame I didn't have some of my bird baths. Oh. I'm kind of making this scratchy now. Because I kind of messed up, so we're just gonna go with it. Okay, I don't know if I'm liking this. It's really scratchy, but we're just going to have to go with it. I'm going to do the other one the same way so it looks natural. See how that's pretty scratchy, but with the line. I think it'll look okay once it's got the underglaze or the clear on it and it's fired. I'm gonna do this one the same way. So look at the difference here, and it does look nicer with this darker color. So it's getting clogged up. I am kind of liking this dark outline and the kind of sketchy look. Kind of like that. What do you think? Now it'll lighten up when it dries, so it won't be quite that intense. Let's set them aside here, and let's do, I gotta drink my 7-Up. Okay. Now let's go back to the sunflowers. And I'm gonna, the back feels kind of rough to me. I'm gonna have to sand this. I have little, I'll tell you, the best sanding pads are the Diamond Core sanding pads. They are expensive, but they are worth it in my opinion. They last forever. But whatever works, use that, you know. So, okay, let's start on this. I'll hold this up so you can see. think I'm going to start with the leaf first. I always start with the outside first. I'm going to bring it over the edge a little bit. You can already see where it's popping, making the colors pop. It just makes a world of difference. I'm gonna close up this so I can breathe. Oh my gosh. Get it to snap. I'm gonna set that up here on the shelf behind me. And maybe I'll be able to breathe easier, huh? Okay. After we got the cats, I realized I think I'm allergic to cats too, but I'm not getting rid of my babies. No siree. I'm liking how these are turning out a little better than the peony dishes. I don't know. I don't know if I think it's the white background of the peony dishes I'm not real thrilled with. I may, because like I said, I made a whole bunch of these. The other ones, like I said, are slightly larger. So we'll see. I'll do something different on those. Sunflowers is another flower that people really like. It's always a good seller. And then I was also thinking, I did some watermelon plates. And they sold really well. Now I'm just making little tiny circles. Can you see that? Little tiny circles. And then I'll make bigger ones around the in the center. This is just on the outside. You know how sunflowers have those little, some of them have a little hairy like edge to them. That's what I'm kind of trying to emulate. Do you guys like flowers too? Are you gardeners or anything like that? So the inside I'm making larger circles, okay? And it's getting clogged, so I'm going to have to squeeze some out here. Otherwise, I'll have to put the pin back in, and that helps, but I'd love to be outside in the summer. I've got my little patio you see behind me. I got a little gazebo there, and nope, I'm gonna have to put the pin in here. And I love to sit outside and just enjoy the nice weather. I don't know what he wants, Chris. Is he at the door? That's Archie. Is he laying in the hallway? Okay, just let him go. Poor little guy. He probably wants We've been giving him turkey breast with his medicine, so now he's really spoiled and he wants turkey breast. He doesn't want any of his dry dog food anymore. No. But I don't know how much longer he has with us, so we're kind of spoiling him, which is fine. So, okay, so I got the bigger circles in the center. So now I'm just going to add a little bit of darkness where the leaves are attached. I think he hears my voice and he's, I don't know. He's deaf and blind, and so he can hear a little bit and he can see a little bit, but not much. Archie. Okay, so there is one done, and it will, I can kind of see, you can kind of see the darkness there. So I'll do one more and then we'll be done. I'll set that one aside. My husband just came and got him. Took him outside. All right. You see Molly, she's wondering what's going on. Are you guys working in your studios today? I tell you, there's so many new glazes coming out that are so pretty. Mako has a bunch. I'm starting to use more Mako because they're less expensive than the others, and they're they're really stable glazes. I just ordered some for our classroom at Dunham. I can't wait to get them. We've got a few already that we've been trying out, and one that's really pretty. It's an I don't think I've got any at home. It's an aqua color with brown, like almost like brown blobs in it, like brown specks. And it is really, it was a popular one too when I glazed my stuff for the show. This is really hard to wash off if you do make a mistake. But the nice thing about underglazes is you just go right over the top and it'll cover it up. I don't know if you guys belong to Clay Buddies, but it's a really nice group on Facebook. So it's called, Clay Buddies. And someone was just asking about their clay turns really dark gray on the inside and white on the outside. Her reclaim And here she's got a type of anaerobic bacteria, which I had never heard about before. But it's not mold, it's bacteria, and it's from foreign objects, organic objects, getting into the clay, like, you know, skin cells, cornstarch, you know, other various particles from people using it. And someone was saying to add bleach, and someone was saying to add vinegar, and I didn't realize this, but you never add bleach and vinegar together because it creates what they say, a chlorine gas, I guess, like mustard gas. I was shocked. I mean, you learn new things every day, you know. Not that I've ever done it. I never had a reason to do it, but I had no idea that it was that toxic. We add vinegar to our clay slip because it makes it adhere better. Makes the pieces adhere better when there's vinegar in there. So we do use vinegar. I don't have any bleach in the classroom, so that's a good thing. Because I wouldn't want that to even accidentally. They said that's, you know, obviously it's toxic, so never add bleach and vinegar. Can you guys see? Sometimes I get so caught up in here, I forget that might not be in the picture. Get in the picture, Lisa, if you can only talk to me. Sorry it's been so long since I made a video. I still am going to do some stained glass ceramic frames, but I've been so busy with the painting the acrylics and everything, I haven't had time to fool with that, but I do plan on doing that. So here is the sunflower. And here is so I think because this covers more of the plate, I think I like this one better. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm not liking this one as much, but we'll see. Like I said, they're test plates. Alrighty, well, thank you for watching. Let me move you up a little bit so you can see me. So thanks for watching. Hopefully it won't be so long between this one and the next one. But anyway, like I said, this will get 2 coats of a zinc-free clear, and I just put it right over the top. As long as you use a nice soft brush, everybody knows what I'm going to say. Get yourself a good brush. My other brushes, I don't care. This one, is this wet? My other brushes, I don't care what I use. But this is a Amaco number 8 soft fan brush. This isn't the real, don't get the real skinny one that's got 10 bristles on it. Get the one that's fluffy. Because it makes a huge difference when you're glazing, especially with clear over underglazes. This is CB-618. And I bought a bunch from my classroom. But when you're glazing, stick that thing down in there like this and fill it up with clear. And then paint it on gently, nice and gently. So that you don't smear your underglaze. I have never smeared my underglaze on here. So a lot of people will say, well, my underglaze is smearing because I didn't fire it first. No. If you've got, you got a brush like this and you're going on there real hard, yeah, it's going to smear. It's going to smear. But use a nice soft fan brush. Amaco. So anyway, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit subscribe. I'm trying, I don't think I've reached 4,000 people yet. I have to look. We'll have to do a surprise if we do that. Anyway, please share also if you like this video. Oh gosh, I realize I'm on an hour and a half. I get talking, you know. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks. Have a great day.